do an analysis of history, the major events, and you drill down deep enough.
Hey, Jerome.
Go back. Hold on. Let me tell you.
Go ahead and keep talking, Rep. We're just getting our population up. Just getting these people up on it. Just getting these people.
I tell them to drill down far enough, and you'll find that a female is behind a lot of the bullshit.
Man, let me tell you something. That's the most destructive thing in the world. More people done lost their life over pussy.
Yep. Yep.
Pussy and money.
I agree.
Not money. Not money.
Why we get money? They impress the females.
Yep. Yep. Which is, I was raised by
We're not
them.
getting it to create a legacy. We getting it to impress the girls.
Whew. I tell my son all the time, man, I was glad when the best thing happened to me is when I broke my virginity at the age of 10.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
What?
All right, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's some pedophilia.
No. Well, they were only a couple of years older than me. They weren't teenagers or anything, but that was the best thing that happened to me.
I don't even know you broke your virginity on that one, dude. I think y'all was probably just rubbing in the dark.
Hey, Anthony, whatever the rubbing caused, it made me shiver like I was a freshly caught fish. So, good. So we will repeat it.
Yeah, virginity at the age of 10. Man, if my son came up to me and said I had sex at the age of 10, I'd be like, where's she at? What she look like? Because I'm gonna press charges.
Ooh-wee, yeah, different. The first time my youngest son, turned around and looked at a girl, man, he was 12. And I turned around, I pumped my fist off. Like, yes, not that I had a doubt, but for him to do it the first time, I was like, yes.
Oh, you was just looking for anti-gay confirmation.
Oh, man, hey. And then you can use it as a teaching tool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ready, Jerome?
Yeah.
Cool Cut, you ready, man?
I think that's probably the best intro I've ever had.
Rex just dropped the mic on everybody.
Yo,
Right.
We're trying to compete with him.
You got 10-year-old confessions.
yo.
Go ahead, start it off,
What the
Jerome.
hell I was doing? Oh, I just got my first motorcycle. I still believe in Santa Claus.
Right. Y'all ready?
He having sex and believing in Santa Claus.
Hey, I wonder what did he ask for Christmas?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
I know what he got.
Put money on the pillow. Put something else on it.
He got a box of condoms under the tree.
Sleepover. Christmas is a sleepover.
Yo, this show about to start off from confessions. I ain't got nothing to confess right now.
Nada.
I know you don't. You got 9 kids.
Oh, man.
He was like, condoms, what they for?
Knowing that we got them free in school.
Right.
Go ahead, Jerome. Start it off.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead and do your thing, man.
All right. Well, we we come today for a serious commentary and narrative about Breonna's case. As always, this is always our opinions. Everything that we say is strictly from us. So believe nothing. Redo your own research. Find out the truth. Let's come back. Let's politic. Let's discuss it, and let's build from there. We got a full panel tonight, and I think we're going to have the rest of the three-headed monster come in. So with no further ado, what's up, B?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Interesting how we started off our show today with the laugh, because it's like you said. Who said it Who said it best? We need to be laughing during this time of when everybody hurting. Um, Again, this is Brother Brian S. AKA Silverback SB. Uh, this is a touchy. This is frustrating, but at the same time, though, we're gonna talk through it and see what we can come up with. Yo, what's up, Mr. Crew Cut?
What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can't see you. I see hair.
Yeah, I know, man. It's I got a lot going on over here. That's all. I got a lot
All
going
right.
on.
All right, we got Crew Cut in the house. We got Mr. Crew Up, Mr. Big
There you go, fuck messing up my goddamn name. Just call me Tone.
Big Tone.
Well, thank you.
What's good, man? What's good? Hey, Wheeler, if you want to get on, man, let me know. Let me know. And also, cousin Big Rex. What's good, man? What's good up there in Boston?
Peace, man. It'll be 80 degrees, so I'm gonna give me some ribs and chops tomorrow, man, or Sunday,
So this is interesting because we got North Carolina, we got Philly, we got Georgia, and we got Boston in the house. That's what's up, man. I would really get on and we put that VA in there too. But let's touch on this, man, because the other day that we got this the verdict came out with the grand jury, and only one officer was charged, and his charge was not even murder. It was missing and basically shooting up the neighbor's house, which is, I forgot, I don't know what charge is that, but.
White neighbor's house.
Or was it because they got the 12 million up front?
That right there also had me wondering also, why would you give somebody money for something that you say that didn't happen? Or
But then the officer just got off for shooting out the brother in the back up in Wisconsin as well.
oh, that went down?
He said that he heard the lady scream, "He got my keys," but he thought she said, "He got my kids." That's his story anyway. He about to walk. This dude is a known pedophile. This lady screaming, "He got my keys, he got my keys." And he telling them folks that he interpreted as in, "He got my kids, he got my kids." So that's his get out of jail free card, ain't it?
Crazy. It's crazy. So I tell you what, let's start it off. Big Rex, how you feel about that verdict from the grand jury?
Well, I'd like to know, first of all, I'm a from the beginning type guy. I'd like to know how the grand jury was selected, how they were vetted. Crump is related to my missus.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to know what type of due diligence took place with that, and what type of evidence presented, and start there, and then work our way to the warrant that was signed, and identifying the subjects, if you will. Why wasn't there an EMT on site? Because it is my belief that, I've been told by the frat brothers that I know that a Boston police officer is currently retired. At any time a warrant, and this is police department procedure, policy, anytime a warrant is rendered, there need to be an EMT on site, on the ready, just in case there's bloodshed or worse. And for that not to be on the case, so because the officer got shot, he had to and render aid to him. So there were a lot of questions that I have regarding that, man, and I want to know who was identified why they were surveilling, her apartment and who were they looking for.
I mean, they kept saying they were looking for an ex-boyfriend.
Okay, so I get that, but did they identify him?
They in Kentucky, first of all. It's like they gonna do shotgun, running gun warrants, get the judge to sign the warrant right there for cutoff time and come kick your door in. And most of the time they be guessing down here in the country. That's just how they do it in the country, I guess. I don't know.
And and they said it wasn't a no-knock warrant, but they said the dude yelled police once. Okay, well, I'm struggling with this, man. If you haven't identified the subject, the principal, you're just gonna yell once. You probably, did you whisper it? Did you really make yourself known? And then you're firing at people. I can understand them firing at people after being shot at. That's kind of a natural reaction. But, did you identify the person that you were looking for? I
don't even think
that big of a threat?
First, Big Rex, you have law enforcement background?
Nah, I train with them. I do executive protection on the side, but I'm not law enforcement.
From what I could gather, nobody else heard, even the neighbors didn't hear the police identify themselves.
Exactly.
So I think that's why they were saying, oh yeah, it's a no knock. But these no knocks been a problem for a long time. I got a homie named Pierre Moise who was in Cali, and they did a no knock on him and his family. They had the wrong apartment. Whipped his family's butt, whipped his butt. Luckily, he didn't get shot, and then he sued LA, and I think he got like maybe 1.5 mil out of the deal because they had the wrong spot. But that's a common, I can't say it's common, but it does happen. I mean, their intel is flawed. And, you going in with guns blazing, and, we all have Second Amendment rights. And, somebody kicking my door, that's the first thing they get.
Yeah, exactly.
But heat first.
They gonna come away a lot hurt. I don't shoot in the house with a 9mm. I use my 12.
I tell you.
So
that's proper procedure. That will deter just about anybody.
Exactly.
One way or the other.
So when that double off buck and that hollow point hit him,
that double off slug.
I might go down, but I'm gonna have some company.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be sitting talking on the other side of the door asking you what's your damn PlayStation ID.
Exactly.
See, this the thing about it that got me was you kicked in the door and you didn't expect nobody to fire back. I got my 45. It stay loaded.
Yeah, but see, that's the I had this discussion with some self-defense cats, and they were giving out erroneous information about home self-defense. Mm-hmm. Because they kept telling everybody, oh yeah, the best weapon to have is a 9mm for home self. And I was like, no, it's a shotgun. And they were like, when somebody kicks in your door and you're dead sleep, okay, and they doing that, it's really a shock and awe type entrance. They kick in the door and they're screaming, okay? And you dead sleep or whatever, if you awake, then you got a chance. But if you dead sleep, you waking up and grabbing your stuff. If you got a 9mm, you're not gonna hit the first thing that you aim at because you coming out of a dead sleep. So I don't really believe. I'm glad the dude got off a shot, but if you listen to his phone conversation, he was calling, I think he was on the phone with the police as they were trying to kick in his door. And And then they kicked the door in, because I think if you hear the audio, and I can't remember, I'm not sure, but if you hear the audio, he's on the audio saying somebody is trying to break in to my apartment and they're kicking in the door. And then he fired a warning shot, which I don't advise. If you got a fire, you don't fire a warning shot. The first warning shot is in somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Animals too expensive to be playing around.
Yeah. So I don't know if that really went down the way he said it was, but in the audio, it sounds like he had a good case. That's why they had to let him go.
Yeah.
You know, they had to let him go.
But to be there and watch a girl get shot up, and I mean, they put holes in her.
Dude, they hit her 5 times center mass, which means that you already had her down sights. Okay? In order to pull the trigger and hit her 5 times center mass, you had her down your sights. You had enough time after the first shot to realize that she was a non-combatant.
Yeah.
They shoot to kill anyway.
Come on, they unload the clip.
I don't, man.
Man, they going there with 5.56s. If they doing a no-knock, they not coming in with sidearms. They coming in with 5.56s, which is you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I don't get the whole story. A lot of people were disappointed that the family took the money. For me, I can't say I'm not that family. God bless that family. Breonna is no longer here. That money can set up a legacy for the family and for Breonna and everybody involved. I just think it's you know there was a heavy gag order on the acceptance of that money.
You already know. But after the verdict came out, you know the mom had to come out and say something. No justice.
Yeah.
Like after I sue you, I win my case, and I still gotta shut up. That's not right.
And I think that's, I guess, once the money situation came out, you kind of knew what was going to happen. Because, I mean, how many months was it? 4, 5 months before they even, and neither one of these dudes was arrested. So what? 2 officers.
We pretty much knew what the verdict was going to be.
Yeah, we knew. That's common. We as a black community, we so used to seeing these verdicts come out like this, man. It's
not a surprise anymore.
It's not a surprise, dude.
No.
Why is that? Why? I guess that's the question I've been asking a while is, why is it that we are entertainment on TV? As, everybody's in a reality TV and watching people of color getting shot up. It's entertainment for media.
Well, it desensitizes us.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? It honestly desensitizes us.
That's right.
And I think that's the sad situation. We see so much of it that
it's glorified as well.
Yeah. It's reinforcement behavior. It reinforces all that you've been taught.
Yes.
It keeps that visually present in your mind.
But I mean, we see what the police is doing. When it comes to black females, they worse than it is with us. They come out doing hard.
Well, you know what? We talk about it all the time, and systemically, it has always been a move to get the black male out of the household.
Facts.
Okay? It's always been systemically to get the black male out of the household.
I think they did a good job.
Oh yeah, they do a good job. They do a good job. You see it all the time. You see the disparity in sentencing, in punishment, in everything. You even see it on videos. You see, like the white boy that they was just pulled out of the car. He shot 2 cops, and
He made the news yet.
Yo,
They pulling on him, pulling on him. He pulls out and hits the two cops, and then everybody talking about Blue Lives Matter, and I'm like, yo, I hate to tell you this, but right now cops get what they get, and I got tons of friends as police officers, and they like, yo, that was fucked up, but I was like, I hate to tell you this, but they should have treated him like a brother.
they sure should have. I mean, that dude, I believe he warned him. Wow, probably close to 30 times, yo. I mean, seriously? After he said, "This is my last time asking you," he asked him several more times. I said,
several more times.
They hit him with the
That tells me
taser.
right there, he did not want to be there.
They hit him with the taser. Then they turn around and they hit him with the mace.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow.
I tell people all the time, if I don't want to kill, you don't have to kill people, man. Hey, if the taser and whatever else don't take care of them, if the tase daze them, and then you mace them or whatever, pepper spray. Hey man, that Billy Club. You hit them in a few places, they're gonna react. If you start with the head, the first thing they're gonna do is grab their head. That's a natural reaction, unless they're out after you hit them.
Right.
You hit them and sting them, they're gonna grab that head, man. You got them.
And they had a choice. They gave him an option. That's the part I'm pissed about, because
Exactly.
I showed a couple. I did it on purpose because I showed people at work just to see the reaction and see what they feel about that. Because anytime they see a black male get killed by police, oh, he should have followed the law. You know what I'm saying? But to see this white guy get multiple chances, and anybody hasn't seen that video, check it out, because it's never gonna hit the news media. I'm going to tell you now, because that don't sell. That don't
He
sell.
had a gun in his car. He had a
How to
gun in
get
his
you
car. That's
kicked
why
off Facebook?
See, here's the kicker about that whole joint. They don't pull up his criminal past.
I don't even know the dude's name.
Exactly. You don't know his name. You don't know his criminal past. You don't know anything about him except he did it. He got arrested or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over. No criminal past. No laundry list of violations that he had committed before.
He's protected by the police union, though, correct?
No, not the perpetrator.
Oh no.
The police may be protected by the union, but
Yeah, y'all talking about that case.
Talking about the perpetrator, man. I mean, they were doing with them many times. First of all, the sergeant, he was the post that he was showing him his full body. That's awful policing to begin with. Okay, if he's not complying with you, he doesn't need. You don't know if he has a gun or not. He's not complying with you, and see all of you. You're a sitting duck right there. And the same goes for the one on the beat post on the driver's side. Man, hey, you can't police like that. If he's not complying, you need to act and stop pussyfooting around.
True.
And bad police work cost that sergeant his life. Cost him his life at an already difficult job. You go out there at night, you need to be policing. If it calls for you to use deadly force, then hey, that's the cause that brought out the deadly force. But it came from good policing. Because if you get caught out there bad policing, you're going home. You're the one going home in the body bag, just like him. Gonna warn this guy that many times, man, and he wasn't complying. You knew after the second time he wasn't gonna comply with you.
Right.
He had already not complied with your partner.
right.
So you should have really been putting knots upside his head or something, but he didn't. But we don't get those benefits as people of color.
And that's the part I guess that's the part that just pisses you off. But I think me and Kruka had a nice conversation the other day, and we don't have a foundation as a nation, as a black nation. Because again, they took our land from us, and then they was like, well, hell, we don't have to treat y'all like nothing. Y'all gonna let us do it anyway.
because they have no one to answer to. Now, if it would have been a Nigerian, they would have had someone to answer to. Even though he's still a person of color, they still have a country to speak for him.
Exactly.
We don't have nothing to speak for us. So that's where the problem comes in. Everybody like the leader, the leader, the leader. There's no leader because there's no nation. There's no flag on this planet that represents the so-called black man. No flag nowhere. Until we somehow get together and get on the same page, hey, I don't care what you believe in, but today we are the same. We from the such and such, and we're gonna have to figure something out, or we in trouble. We're gonna continue to stay in trouble.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have the power that we need until Africa becomes a superpower and starts acknowledging us.
I disagree. I'm sorry.
Because I think
the rest of the world follows us.
Yeah, they do follow.
We're waiting on someone who follows us. They follows us. All their fashion and stuff right now and dances and stuff come from us. Everything that they do come from us. They talk about us. They downplay us. They call us Nikitas or Taquitas or something like that. They tell their children, don't marry no Taquitas. Don't marry no American. Don't marry no. They tell them to stay away from us. Huh?
I can agree with that one. I can agree with you on that one.
True.
Because I think
nobody until right now we are the 9th richest country on the planet. Just us 40 million is the 9th richest country on the planet. So there has to be some way, something's gonna have to happen for us to say, you know, we got more than anybody else. It's time for us to act like it.
But you know, that's interesting when you say we're the 9th richest. And that's always equated to buying power.
Well, it's still consumers. We still got the money. We got to spend it.
Right, and I always equated to like a crackhead having $1,000. Because he has $1,000 and he's rich. But where do you think he's gonna spend it? The dealer's the one that's gonna make the money. You know, we don't have, like you say, we don't have a national agenda. We have with the 1.6 trillion or whatever it is, somewhere around there. I mean, we have enough to have our own police force, our own Medicare, our own hospitals. We have our own systems.
But we used to.
Well, I mean, whatever we used to do is in the past, but I'm talking about right now in the present. We don't have a foundation that, like you said, that speaks for us. That when something happens, takes action for our benefit. For one of the things, just listening to people when I hear them talk about this situation, I can't believe the police done this, or I can't believe this happened. Where really it's your perception. Your perception is different than white America. Your perception is different than how the police look at you. If you still think that the police is the mindset behind the actions that happen to you, then you're always gonna be lost. They're just the arm. They're just the muscle. They're not the mindset.
Speaking of mindset, if I may try to stay on track here, we as Black people, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm a learning vessel. Say, for example, black banks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've witnessed, as soon as someone said, well, we have a black bank here in Boston, first words out of one of my brother's mouths was something of prejudices against that bank. And he's not a member of that bank. He immediately had a prejudiced thought against that black-owned bank. Immediately, I mean, like it was a switch when he said black-owned bank, because somebody turned on the switch in his brain. He was like, oh, he was against it without even knowing what their interest rates were.
My money.
Whether they had, right, whether they had free checking or whatever the case, whether they had, you don't have to carry a monthly balance. You know what I'm saying? He just had an instant prejudice towards that. And I was like, man, I said, where did that come from so fast, man?
Built into us.
So is that meaning we just hating our own kind? Or we don't believe in our own kind?
Yeah, he had an instant prejudice like that.
How can somebody believe in their own kind? They don't believe in themselves.
Right.
That was that
Right.
happened. That happened during desegregation. It was good on one end and it was bad on the other. The reason being is because as soon as they desegregated our populations, now all of a sudden we believe that we see the white man going over and we're like, his ice is colder than black ice.
Right.
So we want to go across the street to go to his store to buy his ice instead of buying ice in our community. So that's systemic. That's from working out in the fields and you see the big white house and you're like, I want that house. I want to be able to move in a house like that. And the first thing you want to do is you want to get it from the white man. And we do that. I'm still baffled at Chick-fil-A. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm baffled at I won't go to Chick-fil-A. I think they got crack or something in the chicken. I ain't never seen lines around a restaurant and a drive-through without people waiting to buy damn chicken from Chick-fil-A.
Well, see, Chick-fil-A, I got Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was originated from Hateville, Georgia. Hate, H-A-P-E. Very, very, it's like right on the outskirts of Atlanta. Very racial town. And they only had us in the kitchen cooking. We was the ones cooking that chicken down there in Hateville. So it's just like them folks, they used to their recipe before it became Chick-fil-A. Folks down here been eating that same recipe for years. So it just, I guess, I don't know. It just, like you said, we just conditioned to go spend our money elsewhere.
Now, is that because of integration? Because,
because we wasn't allowed to go eat there? Is that what you're saying? Because we weren't allowed to go eat
But at the
somewhere?
same time, now, I mean, as I'm looking at it now, why the hell do I want to go over there and eat with that?
Right.
That food ain't good. We already know that damn shit ain't seasoned.
So we got a chicken place down here called Wishbone. It's bland all day, lying down the street now. So I'm like, I made a post about it. I said, why ain't nobody open up a little shop and make some chicken taste better than this and just put it across the street from them and just show them how it's done? Nobody won't do it. Like they scared of them or something.
I don't think that. I don't think that. I think it's that we don't have the resources to start businesses the way white people start businesses.
And again, that's why I say, is it because of integration?
I think we do got the resources now.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, these kids running around in $200,000, $300,000 cars, living in $2, $3, $4 million houses. They got it, man. They got it, but they bank in white. And think about this. I went to a black bank. We had a black bank here in Philadelphia called United, right? And I talked to one of the loan officers. And as I'm having a conversation with the loan officer, I'm telling him, I was like, look, I get that you are a black bank and you are controlled by the FDCA, or I may have the initials wrong. Yeah, and I said, I get that part. But I said, you are a black bank in a black community. You already know systemically, we are not going to come to you with the same backing, the same collateral that a white person will come to you with. We're not. I mean, I own a home. I've owned up to 3 homes, but at the same time, are you going to put your home up for your business? That's a risk that we can't take because sometimes we can't recover from that loss. And you see that white people recover from that loss. You'll be right beside a person. You'll file for bankruptcy. They'll file for bankruptcy. 2 months later, they're driving a brand new car. You still trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get my credit score back up and how am I going to get out of this bankruptcy? Yeah. So we don't have the same privileges, and it's little things like that that hold us back. Lack of knowledge.
We don't have the same information.
Yeah, exactly. Because somebody like take a white family while their kids are coming up, they'll make them authorized users and all this other stuff on their credit cards and stuff. And by the time that child 21, he already got a 720. By the time we 21, we 450 in debt. You get what I'm saying? It's a big difference. We'll buy things and not noticing like, oh, I don't pay the bill. Forget it, throw the phone away and go get something else. Versus mom's gonna make sure that phone bill pay because she know it's your credit. So it's just how we was raised and taught. We was taught differently.
I mean, 10-year-olds shouldn't be 10 payments behind on a credit card, you know.
Right. Right.
Crew, you made a valid point. Taught. We've got to start teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know, because my passion is coaching basketball. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say I know more than anybody else because, again, I'm a learning vessel. I'm a geek.
So you're the life coach then. The basketball, you the life coach. You speak life.
You know what I'm saying? We've held clinics, and we've had kids from the ages of 5 to 19 at that clinic. And I heard a parent, while we were going through the drills, they were running and everything, I heard a parent says, he's only 5 years old. And I said, is he potty trained? And they said, yeah. I said, well, you can teach anything, you know, and we just kept going. He may not be able to go at the same pace, but what you're teaching him, that stays with, some of that stays with him. Okay. Right. And then you expound upon what stays with him, and then you advance that. We've got to start teaching our kids at a young age and advance upon that teaching, because you know that I couldn't talk to my son about the birds and the bees at the age of 10.
We back to that?
You certainly knew.
Oh, hey, you know, I had to wait. I had to give him a period of time to where his understanding would be, he'd know why I'm giving him an article about MLK or Frederick Douglass or what have you. I couldn't just give it to him, you know, and he's still watching Blue's Clues or Power Rangers and stuff like that. Man, he wouldn't give a damn about what I gave him, and I've wasted an opportunity. So, you know, it's breadcrumbs, man. But we got to give them breadcrumbs.
King Tut in the house.
Hey, Tut, I'm going to let you get on.
Yo, why are you wearing that Cardinals? Come on, man. You like the only dude I know that's a Cardinals fan.
You already know what it is.
Tizzy Tut.
Hey, B.
Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody. How y'all doing today?
Peace.
How you doing?
What's up, Jerome?
Oh, I just wanted to, before it got out of my mind, you know, he was talking about desegregation. And what I thought about is I think it was to take away our power structure. You know, as far as, you know, he talked, you were saying the resources. You know, we had resources. Depending on how big or how little or how limited they were, we did have resources. I think when we integrated back into this system, you know, it allowed them to take control. And now we had to follow their rules. Now everything was set by them. And, you know, that's why they made us second-class citizens in the system. Not just who we are as a people, but I'm saying in the system. The school system made you a second-class person. Their school system made you inferior. Those thoughts that you were talking about, they're pervasive because, as Rex talked, they were taught to you. You know, even when you went to church, you were taught what? That you're inferior, that you're lower than. You know, that's constantly taught to you, that you're inferior and that you're lower. You're not worth anything. You know, and so that's why we, as a community, still have those prevailing thoughts.
Now,
come on in here.
Go ahead, Tut. How you feeling about this situation with Breonna Taylor, man? Breonna, my bad. Sorry about that.
I hate to be pessimistic in you know, to start off being pessimistic here, but okay, for example, they took the $12 million like settlement, right?
First thing I said.
Yep.
You can't expect you know what I'm saying, to get your cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice, and you got to know when you're being paid, like, you know, hush money, basically.
So you think they should have got the judgment first? They should have got the justice first and then went after the money, is what you saying?
Right. Because they shouldn't have been so anxious to go for the money, because I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she was an EMT worker, so she should have had some kind of insurance. You know what I mean?
All right, I got one for you that nobody said tonight.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Nobody spoke of this tonight on the same subject.
Let's go with it.
What's the dude name? Crumb.
Oh, you talking about the attorney?
The attorney.
Yeah. Ain't they learned their lesson by dealing with this dude by now?
Cause he ain't won shit yet.
Listen,
He won nothing. He ain't won nothing. Everybody get this guy as a lawyer in these high profile cases dealing with police brutality or police murder, and nobody's got charged, even from Zimmerman.
Maybe the microscope need to go up under his ass.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Tell my wife.
Go ahead, Rex.
I tell my wife all the time, your cousin need to get a win sooner or later.
I mean, he got to win. He got to win. He got the money. He did get paid.
All right, well,
like he's paying to get these cases.
This is an interesting concept, because you actually are family with somebody that's family to this guy. How's your wife feel about it?
That boy rough.
0 F's. Okay? 0.
It's sad.
I mean,
Is he still invited to the cookout? What?
well, the food's so big, man. You don't know if he came to it or not. So, I mean, you know, unless you're there from the beginning to the end and you're mingling with everybody, he could come there and duck, and you never see him.
But wait a minute, Coach. Wait a minute. He's a crumb, but he's African, though, correct?
I don't. Hey, to tell you the truth, I don't know. No, hell no. No.
Oh, he just got that accent. Just don't say it's a play.
That motherfucker from Tallahassee.
What? Man.
Now this is my thing. Now, when these cases happen, are they requesting for him, or is he reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, let me be your lawyer"?
That's what I'm talking about.
He might be an ambulance.
He's like the new Al Sharpton.
He might be an ambulance chaser, bro.
Yeah, I think he's offering like, yo, let me be your lawyer. I can get you XYZ. We might not get no, you know what I mean? Because he's on the scene too fast and too much.
He was Trayvon's parents' representative.
And he did more people after that.
He just took off after that, man. And,
Right.
I mean, you know, I want to see some substantial wins, bro. I mean,
that man should be fired a long time ago.
Hey, yo, he had George. He was also in concert with the George Floyd case, right?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. Man, I wouldn't let that dude be my car insurance lawyer. Go ahead.
Hey, my thing is though, okay, they got the settlement for the $12 million. I'm pretty sure he negotiated that and had some portion of that coming to himself.
You know that man got a third of that check. Quit playing.
Yeah, he get 30. He get 33 1/3.
I get 30%. I think it's 30% off the top, right?
And he's like the fucking, you got a wreck on the car, on the highway. Call me, I'll get you your money. He get a third off the
He better call Saul.
That man is closing deals so fast, man. The case ain't even open yet, and he already got these folks $12 million, man.
So,
come on, man.
What we alluded to earlier is those prejudiced thoughts. We need to start having prejudiced thoughts against stuff like that. Okay, vet them. It's okay to vet people. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
to vet
right.
them,
Yeah, true indeed.
But don't jump in bed because you see he has the shiniest vehicle or the shiniest ring, man.
Well, you know what? Like I touched on a long time ago, a lot of African Americans don't have the resources. And here's the thing, they don't have the resources to go through that many lawyers. They don't even know about lawyers.
What you talking about?
They don't know that the lawyer works for them.
Right.
You know, when I had a case against USL, the lawyer was sitting across talking to me like I worked for him, and I had to tell him, remind him how the hierarchy went.
Hey, yo, I beat my case. I had to tell my lawyer what to do. I told my lawyer exactly what to do. I beat my own case basically, but I can't stand up in court, and I ain't went through the bar representation. So I had to tell him, and he even uses me for reference points now in his future cases. I spoke to him a couple of months ago. He's like, Little John, I can't thank you enough for opening my eyes, because oftentimes lawyers, they go into stuff with a biased eye too, and assume since we're black, we're guilty, we're dealing drugs and this and that. And he was like, you know, I was facing 25 plus, and I beat my case. I went to trial, I beat it, you know, because I knew
What
they
happened was he sat down with the judge and like, we gonna give him this one, and you were smart enough like, I ain't taking it. I don't believe that they come in with a bias. I think that they getting paid to hand us over. That's what I believe. Because if I come in there and I pay a lot of money, he gonna go tell the judge like, let me get this one because I just gave you 10. You get what I'm saying? I just gave you 10 niggas, so I'm gonna let this one slide.
Exactly.
Hey, that is far-fetched, Peter. That isn't far-fetched, man. Back when we did.
So they all take the bar exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all part of the bar association, right?
Yep.
Just the prosecutor as well as the defender, right?
Right.
They all held by the same standard.
They part of the same track.
And the DA.
And they all officers of the court, regardless of he defending you or he prosecuting you. They're all officers of the court, right?
Yeah.
So who wins?
Yeah.
So
and they have certain meetings. They have meetings and things of that nature. And actually, I remember speaking with my lawyer. They would hold out the case until they get a judge in their favor. Yeah. So lawyers, prosecutors, you know, they all negotiate and speak about things. So you can best bet they try to dime in on you and make you like take a plea this, plea that, and get something.
It's big business.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm in a small town. So if this town can sell, when the feds come to town, probably once a year, you probably get about 40 young men. Now you got 40 people that's getting over 15, 20, 30 years of life. That's an auction block. That's your auction block. I got
to do slavery.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in it's in the Constitution, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The 14th Amendment is the 13th. It's the 13th Amendment.
It's the 13th. 13th
Amendment that a lot of people don't really study and understand.
When you're penalized criminally, you're a slave to the state. That's what Beanie Siegel brought up to drop the state property hit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of brothers, you know, we get these charges, we property of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as that was ratified, when they had the 13th Amendment, that's when they started vagrancy laws. So that meant that you were thrown off the plantation. You didn't have a house. You didn't have anywhere to go. So they picked you up for vagrancy.
Right.
Right back on the plantation to work.
Right.
But you know what plantation you got thrown off of, don't you?
What's that?
Your own.
Your own.
That was your own land. They gave you money for, whether it was for equipment, the harvest your own food and different things like that, and you default on it, they took your land.
Right.
Or the federal government just straight deboed it and gave it away.
That's called eminent domain.
The Homesteaders Act. They gave away all millions and millions of acres of land.
And they still giving it away, right?
Still giving it away. That's correct. That is correct.
So what do you think about this attorney? Was his general, whatever his Cameron, little punk ass dude?
Talking about in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Man, you getting deep. Hey, man, they got a problem up there in Kentucky. That's why I would never move to Kentucky.
Have y'all been to Kentucky?
Yeah, about 1,000 times.
You know, they got dry counties out there. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'm in a dry county right now, and I'm in Georgia.
Right. You know, they got the dry counties out there. So, you know, listening to like Nappy Roots And so when I went through Kentucky, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna see the good old, you know, Nappy Roots, you know, some Hicktown stuff, you know. Now I went to it was a Christian college in that area. Man, it was straight up rednecks. I mean, yeah, it was Hickville, you know what I mean? And
that's where most of the history I learned about blackbirding was from Kentucky. When I heard about blackbirding, Kentucky was the first state that pulled up, and they was doing like, they'll say we have 80,000 Negroes and we got 20,000 being prepared and to be sold in slavery and different things like that. And Kentucky just took me for a whole loop when I was reading. And then as you start going to different states, they all have the same thing going on around that same time. So, but yeah, Kentucky rough, man. Kentucky rough.
and then that DA, he gets on the stand and totally supports these allegations, knowing that they didn't even put the murder of Breonna on the damn on the affidavit for it to be even research. I mean, to be investigated on that. They're investigating the stray bullets, or you know, they charged him with the stray bullets. You know, so Breonna Taylor's murder wasn't even on the table. How did a lawyer allow this to even be negotiated?
That 12 million, he got his.
I was about to say, did that 12 million really change the whole picture of this thing?
That 12 million changed the whole picture. You know what I'm saying?
He got a third. If he got a third, then what? They walked away.
He walked away with 3.
No, he walked away with 4.
Yeah, that's a vote.
4 plus that Air Force.
Yeah,
9.
he walked away with a 4. Yeah, you're right.
You know, I'm saying, like, you know,
Rex.
yeah, they got, you know, I mean, we wanted to get the justice in this case. I mean, they had an outpouring of support for this case. So if it was approached properly, it could have been validated, I think. But when they took that money, it changed the whole landscape of it, because they're like, hey, we done bought another nigga, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't about to let one of ours go down. And we done bought this, you know what I'm saying? We done paid this off, you know what I'm saying? So to look
is
for
that
justice,
his job? Is that Crumb's job, is to get you to get paid off? Because then he do that with Kanika.
You talking about with my man up in Minnesota?
No, I'm talking about the young lady down in Alabama got pulled over and ended up found dead in the cell. Her mama got about 6
Sandra
years.
Bland.
Yeah, Sandra Bland.
All right, but here's the honest question. Somebody is murked in your family by the cops, and somebody writes you a check for $8 million, and that person is gone. Are you gonna say yes or no?
A lot of
Depends on which
times,
family member. If it's Rex, I'm gonna say I'm gonna question it if it's Rex.
no. The reason what I'm gonna look at it in this aspect, and I'm gonna deal with some reality here. And like I say, I'm gonna be pessimistic. You know good and well they ain't gonna give us no justice.
No.
They ain't gonna give us no justice. So even if they do take it to court and you don't take the money, and then they don't even get charged, you know what I'm saying? Then you assed out with nothing. So
how much
9
more?
times out of 10, they're gonna get away with it. Because
how much more can
you
you do? Like he said earlier, it leaves a legacy in her name. Like the family has got a head in life because someone died for this. Now, someone paid the ultimate price for this family to get ahead in life. You get what I'm saying?
She's so
Almost like a life insurance policy. When somebody roll up the street and get hit by a truck, and that trucking company got to leave them kids $15, $20 million, what ain't no difference, is it?
But see, this is my question to you then. That was a good question, Tony, because like I said, it depends on if it's my kid. Yeah, that's something you have to sit. I can't answer that question. I'm gonna lie. That's deep.
Yeah.
But did this not get your attention how quickly they threw this money out?
Yeah, that's why I said he went and pushed for them to get that money. The lawyer job was for them to get the money. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, see, it's quick to us because we're on the other side of that wall. We don't know when these negotiations started.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This could have been settled months ago, and they said, keep your mouth closed or the deal is off the table. you know. And one thing that I've always said, and this goes back to my Navy days, I didn't ever want to be on a ship where the commander had greater aspirations and he needed to stand on my neck to get to those greater aspirations. Okay, you got this AG, he wants to be what appellate court judge or something? So you think he cares about whose neck he has to slice in order to get that? The bigger the neck, the easier his path is to where he wants to go. He don't care about justice or not. You know, he wants to stack his blocks so he can get to where so he can go through the door that he couldn't open previously. You know, you don't want to go before a DA that wants to be a judge, because he's gonna blow all the heads off he possibly can to substantiate his application or his approach to higher standings, higher statutes.
Was this a blow at the Republican Party?
Are you asking, was it a blow or it is a blow?
So.
I'm saying, like, was it
I
set
hope
up
so.
to the Republican Party?
And the Republican Party has become the new Dixiecrats. So,
Well, if we fail to look at what happened in the past, it looked like to me it's happening again.
it is.
Yeah.
It is happening again. But I mean, the Republican Party has done a 180 from what they originally started as.
That's
So,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
So that it didn't do a 180. What happened was the Democrats is now running the Republican Party.
Hey, yo, that's got some validity to it, though, Coach. That's do have some validity to it, because you have a lot of Republicans that have jumped sides to the Democrats now.
Right.
So
Just
yeah,
to advance their cause, man. I mean, we have to always, if you're not going into any and every situation with that 180-degree circumference going on, man, then you're going to run into a wall that you cannot recover from.
Okay, I got one for you. We could sue the Republican Party. Oh, no, not the Republican Party, the whole system for not protecting the Republican Party when we was in the Republican Party. See, a lot of times things get settled when they die, and 100 years later, things go get straightened out. I think that need to be straight, because we have people in office that still was not protected by the same country that we in today. And those are the things that has not been corrected. So I believe we got a case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
hey,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jerome. Go ahead, Jerome.
No, go ahead. Finish your point, Ted.
Well, I was gonna say, here in America,
Yeah.
often we see what's happened to Black people in the past, the present, and probably the damn future.
Right.
Why we keep looking for justice? You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't talking about justice, though.
No, I'm saying
it got to be corrected. Something got to be corrected, because you had who started the Republican parties and how did them guys get out of there? It was a hit out on their lives, and the United States said, hey, whatever state do, that's what they state. We're not going to get in that state's business. But they officers of the federal court now. Nobody protected them. Some of them got murdered. They put their face on the cards. They even know who murdered them. It ain't like it was a joke, like we guessing who murdered them. It's in history books that the KKK made facial shots of them senators and them folks and went out and killed them folks. So now we already know who did it. Now who's gonna be the folks to go down and correct it? Because we got knocked out of office now, and now we kicking boots. Jim Crow laws came after that. So we couldn't get back in the business. So what's up? It's time to go sue some folks now.
But I mean, it was right after those Republicans were killed in office. I mean, they did take them to court, and the Democratic Party admitted that they created the KKK for that purpose. That's in open court. That's on documents. You can find it right now.
But you lose because of the Jim Crow law.
Right. But see, another point I was wanting to get out. Not when all these killings happen, is there ever any justice for any Black people?
Right.
No.
That's it. No, right? So So I'm looking at it because it's all about perspective for me, right?
I mean,
So,
we was getting justice in court back then. You would get in trouble for because we wasn't slaves back in them days. And
right.
we had just as much as they had.
But you had citizenship back then, right?
Oh, it depends.
Yeah.
Not
So listen to what I'm
Citizenship.
saying. Because you're talking about pre-Constitution days, right?
No, we talking 1860, 1865.
Okay. Oh, so you're talking about before the Reconstruction?
That is the Reconstruction.
Right. In that year after, but you're talking about previous time. You said we had.
Right.
Right.
1860, we was running the show. 1865,
Right.
we was the Jim Crow laws and stuff was knocking us upside our head.
Right.
We
So
had like
that's what I'm trying to
5,
get
6
at.
years of greatness.
If you look at things that happen to people and getting justice, maybe we're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You're trying to get it as a citizen, the police against a citizen. Maybe we need to start looking at it as war crimes. You know, and
Right.
I like
because
that.
that's the only way that seems to we ever get justice, because they're not going to treat us like U.S. citizens. So we have to, like you talked about in the beginning, us creating a nation, because these are war crimes against our people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at it from that perspective.
So who's going to be the person to step up, and where's the nation that's representing those people to get the war crime?
That's the whole.
Wrong.
That's the whole building part. You know, because right now we're just in discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No. That's a good point, though. Damn, that's a good point. Damn, that's a good point.
And basically, that's how America was founded. Founded by starting an independence. So, I mean, I don't see us getting justice unless we either usurp this government by putting our officials into office so that we can change laws, or creating an independence like somebody spoke about, creating a nation of our own and making our own independence. Otherwise, in this system, we're never going to get justice.
Which is
never happen, because we will be so successful, we become a threat again, and they will have to try to bulldoze us down again.
But you're talking about somebody releasing your resources. Who's gonna do that? So
Really ain't talking about the resources. I'm just talking about.
No, not you. I'm saying Brian's talking about. But my thing is, let's go back to what what Crew is talking about, 1860. So how do we recreate 1860?
It's like what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Got to be through land. I think it's got to be through land ownership.
Oh yes.
I'm not talking about, the house you live in. I'm talking about actual land.
Right.
Like hundreds of acres, buying hundreds of acres of land.
Buying cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never met this brother before, Anthony Crudup.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna break it down. 1750, Negroes own 100 million acres of land in America. 1850, we was down to 54 million. I know I didn't tell these brothers this before. And right today, 2021, we own less than 1% of a million acres or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
How do the slave own more land than the slave owner? They worked the number on us.
Oh, you know how they did it.
Right.
Well,
They did it. They did it through desegregation, because then we started putting our money in white banks, but we didn't know how the banking system even worked. And a lot of times, you got people that's coming out who can no school education, they don't know debt, they can count. My grandfather was one of them. We used to count the church money for him because he had a 4th grade education. So you got them, and that's why it's systemic in the old heads, and I'm pretty sure y'all know a lot of the old Southerners, they don't trust the banks. And the reason they don't trust the banks is because the banks stole their land.
I mean, we go all the way back to the Freeman banks and come to find out how, that's how this started then.
Yeah, the banks started taking money. They started taking money, and they started taking land. So you're a black farmer, you go in.
And bankers run the
So
government
that's what I was
now.
just talking about. The bank give you the money for the equipment to work your land. You miss a few payments, they came and took your land. Just like that.
Yeah.
So they did it on purpose.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. Of course
yeah.
they did it on purpose.
The only way they can do it legally is to do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was premeditated.
It was definitely premeditated.
They were playing. They were, you know, once we start big game hunting, man, and really assess where we need to go and how we get there. You know, if all of us are big game hunting, man, we will fall over each other just by default because we're looking down the same scope, and the scope is long. If we're looking down these little short muzzled scopes, man, I mean, you know, like Tone said, land capital.
Well, they're pushing
whatever we want.
They're pushing us out. Like I'm in a small town, and I'm watching this little town being gentrified. When I go back home to Chicago, I'm from the South Side, and I'm seeing how they're pushing over on the South Side, and they're gentrifying the South Side off the lake. And it's like, everywhere you go, no matter if it's in the city or the country, it's being gentrified. I don't care if it's in the middle of the slums, they're buying it and they renting it, they selling it for the high. And we got to figure out a way to keep folks from selling their grandmama's land, selling their grandmama's houses. It's got to be something in place for us to keep this, because if not, we're going to find ourselves assed out, all the way assed out.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We don't teach, within our community, we don't teach legacy. We don't teach legacy. We teach, you know, we're going to get this, we're going to get that money. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at the hood. There ain't nobody in the hood right now that if their mama got shot by the cops and somebody say you can get $8 million out of this deal, they're going to say no to it. You just ain't got to say nothing about it. Now, it would be one thing if they took that $8 million and they spent $1 million of it to go out and buy 100 acres of land and be like, look, this is where my family's going to be, and this is going to stay in my family's name forever. I lost land that way in North Carolina. My grandfather had 100 acres. It was not supposed to be outside the family name. And my grandmother lost it by not paying taxes.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on. You need to talk to you. You can get that back only because, just look, I bet your grandmama's not from Africa. I bet you she got Indian in her family, and Indian don't pay taxes. So go do your homework.
Oh yeah, I know. I have Cherokee blood in my mom tells me all the time.
Indians shall not be taxed, my friend. So all you gotta do is go find out what tribe they come from and go get that paperwork and go get that land back.
Oh, we already know. We Cherokee. We've been to the powwows and everything.
Right. So what you gotta do is still get the paperwork. Gotta go get that paperwork. Don't go do no blood work. Don't do no DNA test. Go get them death records, them birth records, and go tie into a tribe and go find that land that they lost for not paying taxes. Indians are not to be taxed. So you got a case right there to win that land back. And the court you got to go to is in Philadelphia. So that's even better for you.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to research that, man. Thank you.
All right. All right.
You gotta be just dropping that shit.
He's probably in the Navy, you know.
No, I mean, but see, that's the thing about it that I like about what we doing. We building. We building. This is what we doing. We talking and we helping each other, but we trying to get a firm understanding on this situation, because if they didn't take that money, would the outcome be different?
Well, if they didn't take the money, our own people gonna talk about it. Even comedians, I can see them be the talk of the town. Look at this dumb, didn't take the money, kill my family member. You know, it would have been talked about over and over and over and over and over again, even though we would have seen what was going on. I would have been like, I wouldn't say no to the money, but like Tut was saying, let me get through this right here. The money to me seems like, and I could be wrong, because I know I could be wrong, but the money just seemed like hush money. Like, take this bread, shut up, and go do something with
the outcome. The outcome screams that. The outcome screams that it was hush hush.
Right.
I mean, let me ask a question.
Uh-oh.
Well, y'all would probably know better than me. So if it went to court as a criminal case, right? You wouldn't have got money from a criminal case. You had to get money from a civil case, right? So these are two different principles. They could still get
all crimes are commercial, Jerome. All crimes are commercial. So no matter what the criminal aspect is, it's about some money.
I get that. But I'm saying as far as the justice part as opposed to the money. You know, normally you see a criminal case, then they sue them in, you know, civil court and get money. Well, maybe this just happened in reverse, right?
Good point. Good. But see, that's the thing about
that's what Trump did from the beginning.
this whole situation. Just makes you like, okay, this didn't add up right, because they announced so quick.
I guarantee in the acceptance contracts of that money, it says you are not allowed to have a civil case file a civil case against us if you accept this payment.
Oh yeah.
I mean, $12 million is no need, you know.
And really ain't no money.
You was gonna get?
Really think about it, they probably could have got more.
Probably could have got more. Right. I agree.
But we already knew it was going to be a problem when they was doing a grand jury. We already knew it was going to be this.
And then that leads back to the lawyers who did not fight for that jury.
Yep. I'm telling you right now, family member of mine gets, you know, especially my son or even grandkids, man. I'm going at you for 100. I'm starting, my baseline is 100 million. I'm gonna make your eyes pop out of your head. Okay.
I feel you. I respect
and
that.
we gonna keep continuing burning this bitch down until I get it. I'm just
Exactly. 100 million.
Damn right.
You know, you want to bring me down from there, but that's where the talks are gonna begin. 100 of them.
I think we need to go out to Colorado, buy a bunch of land, and call it Wakanda Ranch.
Oklahoma, out that way, yeah.
You got a lot of people. You got a lot of people that are leaving California, buying up a lot of land in Denver and Colorado and stuff. They're leaving California.
I'm in Georgia. We like 52 million acres down here to be bought. I'm just gonna sit down here and do it and buy as much as possible down here. We got what they call the black belt round making. We own all of it, so we might as well continue.
Might as well before goddamn Atlanta keep expanding all the way down there.
No, that ain't gonna go no further than
you do that. You do that, you get to you know, you can write legislation. You can.
Well, you had the family. What was the 19 families bought the 19 families bought the 90-some acres of land down there? Not too long ago.
That's mad respect right there.
But see, that could be done like on the regular. It's hundreds. Everywhere I go, I see 100 acres of land, 300 acres of land, 500. Everywhere I go right now, I see hundreds of acres of land. So
trees and woods.
With running water and lakes on them. So anywhere it goes, it's a win-win situation. The whole thing is, can you deal with them people for the rest of your life that you're dealing with? You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing.
Well, that's the problem, because family
have to.
Family.
Well, a lot of times, a lot of folks don't move family in. They move in friends and people that can, you know, contribute to what's going on.
When you buy that much land, though, you're basically creating a community again.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that community, man, it's all got to be love. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be love and respect in that community.
Everybody's looking down the same scope.
Right.
But see, when you buy that amount of land, that means you can set up your own police force, police your own land. I mean, things of that nature. Now you imagine they buy 90 acres. Now another group of black people buy 100 acres beside them, and then people just keep buying lots beside them. Well, first of all, you know the white man gonna make a law to say you can't buy a damn land right beside the other ones and connect. There's gonna be something they make.
Georgia was the prison state. So it was so many of us here, they just turned into a prison state. So it's like we just getting back to home, really. Folks just going back home.
And they're gonna find a way to get that land back by giving you the equipment, and you can't pay for that equipment, and you're gonna default on that equipment, and they're gonna try to take that land back.
Your collateral.
We creative.
Your land is collateral.
We are creative. We creative.
Oh, I know we are.
If somebody's gonna find out a way that we can do it without getting in danger, and everybody's gonna follow suit.
Crew cut.
What's up?
Let me ask you this. So let's say all six of us bought 100 acres apiece, right?
Right.
I ain't sharing with none of y'all.
Yeah, see? Okay.
That's shit.
Well, hold on, B. Hold on, B. Just for theory, though. So, so we all in the same area. We're all adjoining, right? So we have 600 acres all together. If we all prove our lineage to be Indian, could we be like a reservation?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it don't even really have to
Whoa, I take that back.
No. I wouldn't want to do a reservation.
Well, I'm saying from the
reservation, the reservation means they own the land and you just stand on somebody else's and they just taking care of it. Now, to me, I believe that those people are standing in reservations to act like somebody.
Right.
To imitate somebody, to get somebody else. Right. See that that's not their money that they're getting. These casinos don't believe them. Like Trump said, they don't look like Indians to me.
Right.
It's like the Indians that they got to play in movies.
But we're in reservations when you look at projects and different things like that. That's urban development. So that's just a different way of saying that we have you on a reservation. I don't.
So how do we get sovereignty?
I don't rock like that because I believe that I'm not trying to be something separate from where my family then fought for and died for. You get what I'm saying?
Well, then I mean that brings back the point of why we trying to create a nation then.
Well, the whole point is it's not even really creating a nation. You just basically you already in a nation, but we in a nation and we don't even know who we are, where we from, or
what part we play.
So we just here running around brain dead, really, just running around like some mice in a maze. We don't know what's going on. And somebody's just dropping food here, dropping food there, and we just run around with our head cut off. Right. That's how I see it.
So I mean, I see where Jerome going is. If we had that,
you're gonna have to find some togetherness. Check it out. You got Christians. The number one thing that our people believe in is Jesus. But when they get up and go get in their car to go to church on Sunday, they pass 1 million churches just to go to a church way over here, but they all believe in the same Jesus. So now you already got division right there on the same thing that they believe in. They can't even come together on that. So if they can't come together on the same thing that they believe in and pray to it, how are we supposed to make it, bro?
That's why you got 3 brothers. That's why you get the same brothers on the same mindset.
That's what I'm saying. Dude. But I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying, though, don't you?
I feel
Crew just hit the nail on the head. My wife was going to a church, dude. They told her if she was a member of another church, she couldn't join another church.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? What kind of sense does that make? And Philadelphia is known for it. We got a church on every freaking corner.
Chicago too.
We got a church on every freaking corner.
South Carolina do too.
My mom is mad at me right now because I told her, I said church was Facebook before Facebook was around. I said that was where you went. That was your social gathering for the community to come together to find out what Sister Harriet was doing. That's why church lasted all day. The sermon lasted 2-3 hours, and then they hung around the church and talked about each other for like 4 or 5 hours after.
Yeah, but the white folks went to church and talked about hanging niggas at church.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that on their Facebook right now. So like you said, you hit that on the nail. Church is a social gathering place. That's
Yeah,
where you can
Tony.
get some stuff done, huh?
Hey, Tony, that was good as shit. Now you got me sitting there thinking, like, damn, was that the real Facebook back in the day?
It was
It
because you
was.
could go to church and get some guys together to protect what was going on back then. You could talk about the community back then, but then came out 501c3. Now you can't talk about political issues and different things like that, or you're gonna lose your taxes in your church, and you gotta pay taxes on all this money they're giving you and different things like that. So they know there's loopholes in the game, and they knew how to attack us.
Loopholes surround the greenbacks.
That's right.
Follow
Waves.
the money trail.
Follow the money.
Because if I work a
You know,
full-time
somebody-
job, 40 hours,
Somebody hit on something earlier, man.
huh?
We may need to look into coming together and buying some acres.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Now you do know about the $5 Indian, right?
Man, what? I can tell you the whole story.
Hit them, crew.
So Andrew Jackson did the Indian Removal Act and made them Indians go out there to Oklahoma. And the white folks got out there before we did and put their names on that list and paid $5 to get on that board. And when we got out there, all the land that was supposed to be for us, the list was already full. So it was nowhere for us to go.
List.
So we had to go all the way up to northern Oklahoma, which would be Tulsa. And it was no man's land, is what they call it, no man's land. And between that period to 1905, it was the #1 city on the planet. And this is my argument with people I say all the time. They call it Black Wall Street. And people mess up because they think they're talking about the people. They're talking about the oil. That was the Black Wall Street, the oil. Them folks was Indians, all them folks knew the tribes they came from and everything else. But now these books and TVs and everything else, we just think they from Africa and stuff like that, just forgetting about all those people's roots. And those banks got millions of dollars of Indians' money in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the $5
You need to be
some white folks that paid $5 to get on them roads.
On the DOS rolls.
Yeah. They got it.
that's the best $5 they ever spent.
Yeah, but ain't this funny though, how that all the black folks can say, hey, my grandma got Indian on? Ain't that crazy?
Right.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wouldn't say it.
Huh?
When I was a kid, I wouldn't say it.
You wouldn't say it?
I wouldn't say it because it was so many people claiming Indian. It was one of those things where I was like, I don't even want to say it.
Some gotta be how can a kid who come out of a house into the world meeting other folks and just off the rip saying they folks Indian because they heard it back at home.
Yeah.
You got traditions and things went through oral. If you was from Africa, had some folks that came on a boat 9 times out of 10, somebody in the family would be like, your great-great-granddaddy Juju came off this slave ship. But we don't have stories like that.
Well, I went to my slave house.
Okay.
I went to the house that we were freed from.
Okay.
And that was, I don't even want to talk, that was.
Where though?
That's in Kittrell, North Carolina. It's 35 minutes from my mom's house.
So boom. So basically, y'all was like I was saying earlier. I bet you any amount of money that y'all was y'all fought. You know, when you go through all them towns in North Carolina, they tell you how they took the town. It's a little plaque right uptown. Sergeant such and such fought and such up in the mountains. The last straw was over here. Go to the next town. Oh, such and such died over here. And go to the next town. It's like that in every city in North Carolina.
South Carolina too.
So if you want to trace your history, all you gotta do is just get in the car and go down there. When you go down there and see, they're just telling, that's their story that, oh, we owned you. But they're not telling you that, oh, y'all owned the land first. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you, oh, we tricked you out your land and now we put debt on you and now you owe us. They ain't telling you that. So it was a lot of ways to get tricked into slavery or servitude, but I can show you cases in 1790 where they had folks as slaves, where the women was getting out of the plantation, running to the courthouse, saying, hey, I'm not African, I'm Indian. And they giving them their rights, making them free, man. Making them free right there.
Interesting conversation, fellas. I'm still stunned about, I mean, the perspectives we all talked about really got me sitting back thinking like.
That's why we're going through what we're going through. If I came and took your land, you think I'm gonna tell you this your land and I about got it? I almost got it.
But the thing about it is,
shook you up off of it.
I think that's why they do what they do to us.
I get you off this land, it's game over. Y'all going to Ghana. Ghana was trying to come home, my child, come home. Ghana was trying to get everybody come. Man, them tickets was $24 to go to Africa, bro. $24. Huh?
They want us off our land.
Man, them folk trying to trick you to take your little 401k money and go to Africa and forget everything that your grandmama and grandfather and them worked for all their lives and died for. They want you just to forget about it and go over there to Africa. Man, come on, man.
Ghana, Liberia.
I can't do it.
Hey, with $12 million though.
Hey, I take them $12 million, I'll find my land and I'll go buy it. And I might start a digging party because I know it's
hey, I can start in Africa and come back. I can flip that in Africa and come back to America.
Hey, do your thing. Don't get caught up over there. Do your thing.
Hey, yo, coach. Hey, crew cut. That's what I was just gonna say. You fuck around and go over there and they won't let you back in.
Nah, get over there and the whole town is savage or something like that.
He'll come back in, but it'll be in a box.
Most deaf.
Well, he'll be in a box coming back in. That's how he'll get back in.
That happened to Yasmin Bey. Remember most deaf?
You went to Africa, and just think of 100,000 of us went to Africa and threw a big old party, and now, oh, we got Corona. Close the borders. Close the borders.
Right.
Anything can happen, man. They showing you 2020, showing you that anything can happen. Anything.
Hey, yeah, and that's one thing Trump did. He shut down the borders for any Muslims even coming into the country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, shit, he might cut off that border like no more Africans can get in.
He already said that. He called them shithole countries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now you about to go over there, and now you about to leave your whole lineage. You about to leave it all. You about to leave it all. Because folks say, oh, I'm from Africa. Well, what about the Indians in your family? If
I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Just going to say, forget them and just go over there with this side? But if you had one person to come over here from Africa and marry an Indian who had a kid by the Indian, who had another kid by an Indian, who had a kid by an Indian, who has a kid by an Indian, who has a kid by an Indian, what are you? You Indian.
You're Indian.
White? Nah.
Hey, I'm being the devil's advocate right now, crew cut. I was talking to you. I came here on a slave ship.
I'm just saying.
Huh? I thought I came here on a slave ship.
Well, you know, some people did, but there's records of them. If you go down to Washington, D.C., you can see the records of all them slave ships. Now, you did have some ships that was what they call stowaways, but the Africans tell you, the American Negroes didn't mess with them. They didn't mess with them.
They did trade, but
man, you look anywhere, go back to the 30s, 20s, 1800s, when Africans came over here, they was known as what? Africans. We then went from Indian, colored, Negro, black, Afro, black again. Now we just turned African Americans, what, 1989?
No. I think it was the 70s.
No. Jesse Jackson coined the term 1989.
The phrase, yeah.
African American. Him and some other groups got together and punched in and made us African American. 1989.
Was it 89?
Did that. Yep, look it up. 1989. Jesse Jackson did it. Before then, because on your birth certificate, if you were born in the 60s, you was a Negro. If you was born in the 70s, you was black. 80s, you was black. Right at the end of the 80s, you become African American.
I always, for me, when you think about it, if we were African and we were brought from Africa, why do they have to keep reclassifying you if you're African? Why do you get reclassified? So, I mean, that should tell you right there that they're hiding something.
And when the slave ran away, why he didn't try to run back to get back to Africa?
Exactly.
And they were trying to get home, but home wasn't in Africa. And then if they brought us from Africa, what was the point of them hunting Negroes in the month of January?
Right.
They was hunting Negroes. That means they'll find a village of Negroes and hunt them down and then go and prepare them for slavery. Hey,
it's interesting in the movie Roots when Chicken George is with the other blacks, and when Kunta comes in and he tells him that's a Guinea man. He don't speak the same language. He's not the same as us. I mean, he tells you right there that he's from Africa and we're from here.
Yeah. Well, you know that man, that's the fakest story ever told.
I mean, it is, but but it still tells the story.
My bad. And that's the crazy part. He sued them for all the millions for making that movie. Right. And then they said it was so impactful till we want you to still play it. Ain't that something? So they still played it.
Right.
Dude, you know how many fights I got into in school because of that damn show?
Hold on, wait a minute, I missed out. What show were y'all talking about?
Roots.
Dude,
I'm in Spring Hope, North Carolina, coming from Connecticut. Man, come on.
As soon as you see it, everybody beat up. Everybody got beat up.
It was like, boy.
It was a social experiment that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Social experiment that worked. And it
was social experiment.
Story.
So what you thinking? We got the election coming. Ooh. We got all these emotional events happening to get folks in their feelings. The number one thing they say that black folks do is get in their emotions. Okay? So you're seeing triggers after triggers after triggers after trigger. Yep. Now you got, what's the brother name? The rich dude, Bill Gates, saying he wants to give a vaccine for
popularization.
Right. So
I'm gonna give it to the black and brown first.
And we was the least to die from the COVID. We was the least to die from the COVID.
Hey,
you didn't hear me though. Least to die from the COVID.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Jerome got to be out. Go ahead and get your last words in, Jerome.
Oh man, I hate to be out, but because it's a very interesting conversation, everybody's perspective. Man, I don't have any last words. I don't want them to be the last ones, but I don't know. I think we're on to something as far as coming together, purchasing land. We need financial literacy as a people. I think understanding money. I mean, people can understand the word literacy or legacy, but if you don't have the literacy of money to understand what it really means to 5 generations down, I think that's why we don't back it like that. We're so caught up on me and ourselves, and this is me generation. But I don't know. I think if we could put together a plan with that, that would be awesome. Other than that, I enjoy being with y'all brothers all the time, and we'll get together. Peace.
All right.
Peace, man.
All right, let it go. I had you on pause.
Hey,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go back. Jerome added something. I'm gonna end off. I'm gonna drop something on what he said. Then I'm gonna come back to what I originally was wanting to say here. So Jerome talking about the financial literacy, and I just wanted to make an example. Tyrese is a perfect example. I seen something the other day. This dude crying broke. How you broke, man? You did Coca-Cola commercials. But on another note, back to my original thought here. Now, this year 2020, as Coach Crew Cut was just saying, how we're having trigger after trigger after trigger, and they're trying to stir the emotions, mostly of Black people. And we got the Black Lives Matter movement. So many of the white people are, saying forget Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. But I wonder, has anyone contemplated this here? In the Bible, they speak about the coming apocalypse and the culmination of events, World War III coming. Do you think the people are pushing towards, they're like pushing us towards this war?
Yeah, but I think our spirits is too calm for it. Like, that's the reason why they're not getting the reaction that they're looking for.
Right.
We're too calm for it. And the herb ain't making it no better. We started smoking blunts and folks just super calm. They like, boy, I can't move.
Fuck it.
Understand that we have things to
They
lose.
can't move nothing. But
We're
the
not in a
problem,
hurry
like,
to lose what we prove.
Go ahead, Rex.
but we do have a problem, huh?
Right. We're not in a rush to lose what we worked so hard to attain, man. I wish before I forget my thought, I wish we could project forward like we project backwards. We always talk about 16, 19, etc. Okay.
That's deep, Rex.
Let's talk about 24, 19. How do we want to be looked upon in 20? Because they're going to be talking about us.
Right.
This is going to be a
This isn't going away. What side of history do we want to be on?
Right.
I mean, we can't do anything about 16, 19 right now, but we can't change that as far as what happened then, but we can progress things towards how we would like for 24, 19.
I think we're doing good though. A lot of folks see it bad. I agree. I think we're moving forward because you got to look, we come from a crack epidemic, boy, that's supposed to wipe us out. And it didn't.
AIDS.
And how?
AIDS.
Yeah. Well, that was for the ladies who men's was on the down low. That was my understanding.
But again, it was trying to wipe us out with that too.
Yeah. But like with
was supposed to wipe us out, and that didn't even work.
Yeah, but I mean, like with the crack epidemic, though, to me was like one of the biggest hits to us because it ran so long. I mean, from the early 80s to now. But those war on drugs and man, it was rough. Well, I'm surprised we bounced back from that. That was a rough one. Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
I mean, but you also got the pandemic of incarceration also.
That comes from drugs, though. That's what pushed that for us.
That comes from the crack, yeah.
Push that.
We did.
Hey, wait a minute. Clinton get that too now. Bush and Clinton.
Oh,
yeah, but that was afterwards, though. That was after crack has already came out. The bling bling then came out. Everybody went.
Yeah, Nixon started that.
Yeah. Hell, let's keep digging.
Yeah, so now it's like we looking at past mistakes. The TV shows and different things is showing us mistakes, but you got those that don't know nothing about that and about to repeat it all over again. You got
right, and that's
Molly and this and that.
That goes to what Rex was saying, which I think was very, 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 very vital. What we should be focusing on. Okay, yeah, like we can't change nothing in the past, but what we do have a grip on is the future. And now in the seats that we are in, we have the ability to change the landscape. And I want to be a little optimistic in this aspect by stating that things are changing and getting better. Like I was watching ESPN and they had some of the the players voicing their experiences of being Black. And I felt like that was really heartfelt. So the nation as a whole, I think I'm being optimistic here. I'm usually pessimistic, I think the worst, but I'm being optimistic here in saying that the nation is moving forward by bringing awareness to the plight of Black people. Now, as Rex was saying, are we gonna catch this wind and use this to propel us forward and, you know, use nature to our advantage, or are we gonna let this tunnel us backwards and repeat the same errors that we've been repeating the same here in America?
That's an interesting question. That's deep.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, but at the same time though, are they gonna shoot holes in our cells so we can't sell?
Well, somebody gotta get a grip, because these youngsters is gonna mess it up to where it won't be no 2024. What's going on right now?
Right, and if we don't show them,
we gotta shut it down. Like I'm sorry, the rap game has become our destruction of destructions.
It's been our destruction. Has been our destruction for a minute, man.
Yeah. Now every new rap person come out, they dead right there. What dude just died? Yesterday in front of his mama, grandmama? Yesterday.
Ooh.
Oh, some rap star. I don't know. I can't keep up.
Somebody said on a Facebook post that rap was the new pimp. Rappers were the new pimps.
But I can remember back in the 90s, it was some type of movement push to stop all that. And I remember being young, like, them folks crazy. Man, let me get some of this NWA or whatever I was listening to at the time.
Oh, you talking about that? You talking about that PE movement?
Yeah, and they was all trying to stop. But now, as I done got older, looking back, and I'm like, man, we need that now. But it need to be more like, hey, look at what is the cause. Look what the damage it has caused so far.
You get yeah. Crew you all over, baby. Yo, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I always come on this show, man, because I'm a student still. So, man, I got about an hour to give these brothers, man, and stuff like that. Man, about 5 minutes after that, that damn hour turns into 2 hours like nothing, man. I just can't leave, man, because I'm absorbing so much knowledge from the brothers, from the panel, man. I'm like, man, I can't, you know, I'll still be able to finish my studies, but will I be able to encapsulate this learning that I'm getting from these brothers, man? I said, no, let me go ahead and keep it and expound upon it, man. So I definitely appreciate it, no doubt, no doubt. Tuck, we might be related if you're Little John, bro.
Hey, more than likely.
Damn everybody.
More than likely.
Actually, you know what though? A lot of people need to really understand that the Little Johns is basically a native tribe, and they just don't know.
Yeah.
Little John.
Hey.
That means it was a short dude named John?
Yeah, almost like Johnson. John's son.
John's son.
No. I tell you some of the basis of it, like the origin. Okay, like religiously, you know, they got John the Baptist. You know what I'm saying? So the Little Johns were the religious and spiritual leaders that were a forefront, you know what I'm saying, of the native tribes. So when they went to convert a lot of the Native Americans, they went to Little Johns, you know what I'm saying? And some of the shamans and different things like that, you know, they began to be culprits into the Christian movement, you know what I'm saying?
In the King James
terminology.
Yo, Tut, I'm gonna say I'm proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you, dude.
Yo, listen, man.
We had to hit you in the face with that pie, and you was like, "This shit ain't gonna happen again."
Tut reminds me of, hey, I love to listen to him because he reminds me of that Wayne's brother on
the
man,
like Damien
enunciating all 9 syllable words. I love it, man.
All right, fellas. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Another 3-headed monster. Again, say her name. Hashtag say her name. I mean, blessings towards the family. I hope the family do good with that. It just, we never seen a situation like this happen. And I mean, this is odd. It's just it's mind blowing just to see how this happened, and just you wonder who pushed what. And
That thing is not odd.
That's what I'm waiting. I didn't want to correct them, but I was like, we see this a lot. This is
Right.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't say that.
No, what I mean is
Oh.
the money came before anything else.
Oh yeah, now that was odd.
That's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
saying.
odd.
That's odd. That's the money.
Quick. Yeah.
The
That's
money
amazing.
came out. You know, most of the time it's maybe a year, 2 years later.
Hey, they got a new game in now. They just hit you with the money. Shut up,
Cash
they
out.
got some money for you.
Cash out. That's what it is. They got the cash out, man.
Yeah.
Wake up to 12 million or 8 million on your cash out one day, boy. My bad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. My bad.
Last words in. No, that's what.
Hey, I just want to say peace and love to everybody, man. You know, we gaining major focus on what we want to see in this world. You know what I'm saying? And we got to take ownership in being the culprits of producing it, because obviously we see Trump and Crump and all of these oppositions. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to put us where we need to be at. So I think we culprits in being pioneers and establishing what we want to see. And I mean, we all we got, you know, so it's our responsibility to be culprits, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's got to do better, you know what I'm saying? The youth, the elders, you know, man, we all got to step up to the plate now, because we in the game. I mean, we in the game now, you know what I'm saying? So we got to play. These stars got to shine.
Crew cut. Talk to me. Give me your
Well,
last words.
I just think that we really just need to go home and deal with family members that we don't want to deal with, and try to dig up and find out who we are. Because at the end of the day, that's all you really got is your tribe.
Wow.
It don't have to be your real family, but you're gonna have to have somebody there with you. So you go get that land, somebody gonna have to help you plow it. And then we getting older too. So you're gonna have to really get with some folks who are with the same like-minded as you, and really start building now before you get too old to do anything, and you just have to deal with whatever comes your way.
Facts. Tony, give your last word, Big Tom.
Man, I don't have none. I would love to bless you with something that was, you know, profound and all that. I ain't got it. I gotta
Stay up, play up.
Big Rex, what you got?
Yo, cuz, first of all, thanks for thinking enough of me to invite me back, man. I definitely appreciate it. And to the fellow panel members, man, nothing but brotherly love instantly. That's what you get from me 24/7. And you know, I would be remiss if I didn't say that I wasn't knocking in the past, because I'm all about learning about the past. You know, I think there are rabbit holes that are untouched, but I'm also all about projecting forward, because I have legacy, man. We all have legacies, whether if we don't have, we want to have a legacy, man. So I'm all about projecting forward for them. I want to instill that in them.
True indeed.
Isn't always.
Brian got more legacy than anybody else in the room. So.
Whoa, God damn it.
Hey, real talk. I definitely
surprised what they about to do though. But I appreciate y'all brothers being on this, man. Again, you know, just to get the perspective, I'm kind of looking at it in a different way than I did before we even talked about it. I hope, like I said, I hope the family do, you know, keep her legacy going with what they got. I hate that the verdict became what it was, but again, we're not shocked. We won't be shocked about Floyd's situation. We shouldn't be stunned. But at the same time, they need to start respecting us for who we are, because shit's about to get real. But at the same time, like you said, Crew Cut, we too cool. I think that's the problem. When somebody keep bullying you, you just ain't jumped. Eventually, we're gonna punch them in the face.
They get madder. They get madder and they burn up
get
from their
mad.
own
That's
iniquities.
right. And then more things happen, bigger things happen. And it's just like, man, I can't phase these folks because you gotta remember, anything we've been through, we made it through. So no matter whatever history taught us was, nigga, you gonna make it through. So at the end of the day, it's just like, shit, fuck it, nigga, we gonna make it through. And that's just
Past that shit.
that's how it is. That's how demeanor is to what's going on.
It is.
You might watch yours a little bit more, but you'll make it through.
But again,
Yeah, definitely.
Three-Headed Monster, check us out on YouTube on the 300 Monster podcast. Anubius. You see the sign, the three-headed Anubius, which is Tut, me, and Jerome. But I do appreciate y'all being on the panel, man. Love for y'all brothers, man. I'm glad to see this black love, man. My bad, crew cut.
I get what you said.
Yeah, I gotta throw indigenous in there. I said black, my bad. Indigenous love.
You good.
I like it that we build it. We ain't destroying nothing. We building and we learning from one another. You know what I'm saying? And that's the conversation. Black men, we need to keep having conversations with one another. We learn from one another. Everybody's not on the same level.
Eventually, we're gonna have to take it past conversation and actually put it into an action.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, I be moving, but I be all in the community, man. I got about 10 boys I be taking care of. I be taking them like tomorrow, I might be 11. Like anything going into my community dealing with these young folks, I'm all over it.
I just want to see crew cut in Las Vegas. Hey, I just want ringside seats, dude.
Hey man, I got 2 boys right now that's beating up grown folks. I mean, they grown themselves, but they dragging almost anything that get in the ring with them. And we working on it. As soon as COVID let up, man, we gonna see what they do.
All right.
Well, let me know. I gotta connect with the Mayweather camp. So.
Oh yeah, we trying to go out there and hurt something, man. We know it's gonna be on camera. And we know Mayweather like, man, you hurt my boys. You know he gonna make a dumb offer. You hurt one of my boys. So we plan on going out there and getting some country ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? So we working on it. We working on it.
Hey Brian.
Yeah. Man.
All right, fellas.
I ain't wearing nothing Eagles, man. Shut the hell up. I'm not happy right now.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas. Peace out, man. Three-Headed Monster, y'all. Peace.
Hey.
Peace.